survivors, and welcome back to another video in ARK Survival Ascended. Today we're taking a look again at the Jurassic Park builds me and my community did in ARK Survival Ascended for part of our Jurassic Park inspired event. Today we're looking at all the ocean related builds, so a Mosasaur Stadium, of course, ocean breeding pens and ocean enclosures for a lot of the different creatures that we know in ARK. So again, there won't be any tutorials for any of these builds. It's just meant as inspiration for your next project, and of course just to showcase some really cool Jurassic World or Jurassic Park builds made by the community, and they did an incredible job. There's actually some really cool builds in here. Buckle up as you join me on an adventure around an amazing assortment of water related builds, which is of course very fitting for a little shark like me. As always, if you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and feel free to leave suggestions for future builds or future events down in the comments below. And today we're starting right over here at the Mosasaur Stadium. You might recognize this, very much inspired, of course, by Jurassic World. If only we could have the Mosa jump up and bite down on a nice, well, hopefully not a shark, because that would be sad. But yeah, it's a really cool build, and you can definitely see where the inspiration came from, and I'm so excited for this one, because this one came out incredibly cool. Well, you can see the Mosa right in there as well. Definitely a really cool breeding pen for your Mosas, as you could just have them down here. Of course, you wouldn't necessarily need the stadium around it. These gates are kind of doing the job of keeping them safe, but the stadium is what makes it a really cool build to visit. Yeah, we got some of these docks, but more importantly, of course, we've got the stadium up here, which is looking absolutely amazing. If only it was packed with people. We have the viewing platforms here using some of that Architect Structures Remastered glass, which has the little curve to it. Some other pieces as well from Architect Structures Remastered. JVH Landscaping for some of these lovely little details. And the Bunker Structures Cosmetic for some of these awesome walls. All blended in very nicely and all working very good together for this amazing build. I really like the way this one turned out, and yeah, it's a really cool build. Awesome done, awesome job on these stands as well. Really like the shape to them, using some of the steeper and bigger pieces from Architect Structures Remastered, which is really a joy. I really hope at some point we also will get the steeper pieces. Now that we have the shallow pieces in ARK, that is my next, probably biggest request that I would have to be added to builds. Or also just, you know, diagonal pillars and stuff would be great. But yeah, this is an amazing build. It looks absolutely awesome. I'm not quite sure what's underneath here. Might just be, yeah, this might just be the supports, but I don't want to miss anything, so I'm just checking it out. Yeah, there's some loading docks in here, so you could park your boat or your Thames here to unload your things. And in general, there's just, I mean, the really cool shapes of this building. Oh, gene research. Let's see. Oh, there we go. There is some research facility on the inside here, making use of the space on the inside, which is also quite cool. This is why I wanted to check it all out. Yeah, you can see there's been some experimenting done. Maybe not exactly Mosas in there, but still quite cool to see, and, you know, clever to utilize the space. There's also a cool custom raft right here. Very, very cool. Very modern. The luxury tours, so you can take a tour from all of the different water enclosures that we'll see today. But yeah, this one definitely is looking very, very, very cool. I'm so excited for this one. When I saw this one build for the first time, I was really amazed. Like, this is pretty much perfect and an amazing job. I think Jenny built this one, and yeah, she did amazing. And then right next door, I think, are the breeding facility, the water breeding facility. As you can see, ooh, restricted areas. Yeah, we are not responsible for any injury or loss of life. That is totally correct. We have the logo. Seems like they placed it maybe on a longer sign. The square sign makes it look a little nicer, I think. But we are here. This is the breeding facility for the water tames. We have a little building up here. Not quite sure. This might be a little visitor center. This is like a little respawn hut, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. So real little safe respawn hut, probably a smart thing to add. And then over here we can enter the actual facility. Loving these details. Feels very Jurassic Parky. I feel quite safe in here with these fences around. Always a good thing. Unload only. So yeah, we have a little dock where you can park your raft or your water tames, of course, to get in. Again, security feels very much like it's secure. Oh, flyer parking. There we go. Very nice. I like this so far. Seems very organized. And there's a lot of gates, so it's definitely very, very safe. And then we have the ocean pen. So we have Megalodon, Helicoprion, and the mantas in here. Let's see if they're still all in here. Well, there is at least some sharks and a little manta. Looks kind of like a pool in here. Quite cool. Yeah, actually really like these new sharks. I recently tamed some finally for myself the first time. And they're quite cool. I want to do some more stuff with them. We got some Mosas in here as well. Very cool. The paleo improved Mosa does look quite cool. It does feel a little sad in a pen like this, but it fits. And for breeding, so really all the space you would need, right? And a facility like this with like the different bays, it's quite clever. It's quite cool, and it's kind of all you need, really, isn't it? I love the big floating shark up there as well. Employee only access. So yeah, we have the creepy fish, you know, the big toothy fish. Still have not tamed one of those. I think it's just a knockout, but yeah, they are quite annoying usually in the water. Got some anglerfish, so a little smaller pond. We have the Anomalcaras as well, which like the big shrimp creature, premium mod, not cosmetic. So you used to say cosmetic, it's not. We got the big octopus in here. Very big, very big. There we go. And then we have some Archelon over here, I think. So yeah, some really cool enclosures. And I mean, it's not even that big. I mean, it's definitely a big build, but considering all the creatures that have a space here to breed, I'd say this is still pretty decent size and a really cool design. I like the white like pools and then the black roads and everything, and of course combined with that bunker look here in the middle, and for all of these railings and stuff, just makes for a really cool build. And then we have the main facility here in the middle, this tower in the middle, looking quite cool. Just checking if I'm not missing anything. Love these displays for sure. And then over here, yeah, we have some nice work spots. We have the Mosa tank and everything. Top secret. Oof. Well, that was a bit of a letdown. There might have been something there. I think most people have already transferred their things off. So there we go. This is an awesome breeding facility. Looking very, very cool. And definitely very Jurassic Parky. So if you're looking for some inspiration for your own ocean breeding pens, I think this is a pretty nice way to do it. I like the way that it's connected to the land. We have the landing zone and everything, and then these different pools for different creatures. I think that's a really nice and organized way to work with your ocean breeding. So yeah, looking very cool. And next up, besides this little bridge crossing over from some different land masses, and I think it's also a spot to park some rafts, is the Cryptoclidus Enclosure, which is a paleo creature. It's from like the native aquatics, I think it's the name of the mod. It's a really cool and useful creature that actually does a lot of like quality of life stuff for the ocean life. And it's basically like a tiny little plesiosaur, and there's different variants. You have a paleo variant, the normal variant, and even an aberration variant actually. And they have a lovely little enclosure here in this little shallow water. As you can see, they're still quite happy in here though. They can actually crawl onto land as well. I don't think they die there. They probably like the water a lot more, but they can still go on land. So you should be safe there too. And actually really cool enclosure using some of the pre-existing structures or, you know, landscape or ruins that are here. And then a really nice cool wall design. There's plenty of seating options as well, so you can watch the cryptos doing their thing all day as much as you want, and they're just having a really good little time. I love their little swimming animations. They look really cool, as you can see. And there's a bunch of hair just kind of swimming all the way around and having a good old time in this enclosure. Yeah, really nice, cool little fence design, again using those bunker structure cosmetics. Yeah, really nice, simple, keeping them safe, doing your breeding and whatever you need to do. Yeah, looking cool. And we have some more water and ocean related pens over here, as well as just some really cool builds, kind of combining the two types of architecture that you would kind of assume within the Jurassic World and Jurassic Park franchise. These thatch roofs, of course, very reminiscent of the first movie, whereas this building reminds me a little bit more of the later movies, making for a really cool funky structure here. Kind of like it, very modern and very cool looking with the bunker structures. Let's see what it's like inside though. I'm not exactly sure what this is. Feels kind of like maybe some kind of welcoming center, or I don't know. Really cool display here though. Really cool. Really, yeah, this is all custom, I think, with like taxidermy, like dermises and everything. Very nice. Feels like a little bit of a restaurant going on here. Cool vibes for sure. Some lovely decorations all the way around. Oof, look at that handsome man. You don't ever see that guy, so I don't know who that is. But yeah, we've got a cool custom aquarium here as well with a bunch of creatures in the inside. Very cool. And then I think there was a staircase up here. Yes. Let's see where this brings us. To the top layer. Ooh, we have some more creatures here. Whoa, we have some rooms. Oh, you can stay here even. There we go. Look at this. Very cozy, very fancy. Like little hotel at the seaside. Who wouldn't want to stay here? So a bunch of little cozy rooms for you to stay. And then there's even more at the top. Oh, there's the master bedroom up here, the presidential suite maybe. Looks very cool. Little seaside hotel, and then of course that leads into the rest of these builds, but I'm guessing that these huts might also be for like you could stay here. Vacant. Oh yeah, you can stay here, rent a hut, sleep in one of these huts. Still room available. And then we have some of these ocean pens. This is for mantas. There we go. Seems like we have some mantas in here. There we go. Really liking these as well. These are quite easy because you could kind of just keep adding shapes like this for different creatures. And then they have a little bit of a ceiling so that nothing get in. We have some sharks up here. The Megalodon. And then we got some more sharks in here. The new shark. Probably my favorite shark, because it's quite useful. Not only for the blueprint stuff, but it's actually quite useful in the water itself as a creature. So yeah, that looks quite cool. bunch of these little tiki huts everywhere for some cozy vibes, for if we want to stay over here. And then we have like a little tower, guard tower in the middle, I think, at least. Not sure. Yeah, just a nice place to hang out, you know, whilst you're waiting for the breeding to happen or whatever. You can have a nice look around the place and take a gander at everything that is going on. Again, a really cool build. Like the way this come together, and some really cool water designs. I like the contrast as well of the builds, like the bunkery structures and then those tiki vibe huts. Yeah, that's just a really cool combination. And then we have the visitor center, or the travel center for the ocean side of the park. Kind of, you know, for in the lore, this was meant to be like the connection to the different parks. So you could travel from the oceanside park to the other park near the green up. So we have a really cool design here using the bunker cosmetics. We have a little dock, of course, so that you could take the boat tours, of course, for all the water related things. And then this build should have some garages, so we could have the cars to take you from one place to the other. So I guess that would be these over here. So yeah, you could park a car in here, and oh, you even have more room down there as well for maybe for some of your creatures. Doesn't seem like they managed to do the interior, but it's still, you know, it's pretty roomy. Yeah, you could definitely have some tames here. You could have some cars in here as well, so you could easily travel from one side to the other side of the park, or the other half of the park, basically. Since, of course, in an ideal world, we would have maybe built it all in a closer proximity, but this was just a little bit more practical. But yeah, definitely a really cool build. And with that being said, we visited all the ocean related builds as well, so hopefully you enjoyed and you got some new inspiration for maybe your next ocean pen. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course feel free to leave suggestions for future builds down in the comments below. Maybe also, you know, for videos, but also for what next event we should do. And then hopefully I'll see you around in the next video or stream. For now, goodbye.